Me.
Hi Neha, can you hear me?
Yes, now I can.
Okay,
How are you doing?
not bad. Kind of have a long Fridays these days because
Oh,
one or the other security incidents.
okay.
So yeah,
Okay, I'll give it a couple of minutes for some people to join in and then we should be able to start.
sure.
So I'll start with the housekeeping and all of that. Vaishnavi, are you good to go in like a few minutes after I finish?
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay. So I'm gonna put on my video while I introduce myself. So, hey everyone, this is Neha here. Some of you already know me from the community. Some of you are new, so hi and welcome to our talk. I'll quickly go over some housekeeping rules, which are also on the screen for now. Please keep yourselves on mute so the speaker is not disturbed. Video is optional, but note that this call is being recorded, video and all, and it does get uploaded to YouTube later. So only do so if you're comfortable. Try not to ask questions until the end unless the speaker has asked you all to ask questions. Or we will definitely keep time at the end. So around the 45-minute mark, I will ask Vaishnavi to take a pause in case she's midway through her talk and take any questions at that time, and we can continue right after. Try and use the emojis at the bottom of the screen if you agree or disagree or like something. It's always nice to have that so that the speaker can sort of get feedback on what they're talking about. So use the emojis while the talk is going on. It's great interaction. So to answer a few questions, this workshop is being recorded and will be put up on our YouTube channel later in case you miss something. If you're part of the community, you'll also get access to the transcription and AI notes and everything. If there are any presentations or resources that Vaishnavi will share at the end of this, I will email that to you all on the registered email for this event. And yes, you can, if you are a girl, you can join AI Enthusiast Circle. I'll tell you a bit more about the community after this. And I've already shared a link if you're not part of it in your emails when you signed up. But if not, just feel free to ping me on the chat on this window or after this on the Luma event, and I will share all the details with you. So let's see. Yeah. So, what is AI Enthusiast Circle? So, we are a community of women from all kinds of backgrounds. It's not just a technical community, but the idea is that because AI has recently become such a huge part of our lives, we really want to make it easy for women to ask those questions that feel like noob questions or dumb questions. And it's a safe space for us to be able to talk about AI, the impact of AI, from a woman's perspective as well, within our community. So this workshop is part of like upskilling, educating people more on different aspects, different facets of AI. And we talk. It's a knowledge exchange. We talk about different aspects of it, ethical, the impact, not just the technical side. We do have multiple channels. If you have something specific you want to discuss, for example, we have a tech channel which is actually just the technical aspect of AI that we discuss, or marketing hub, which is where we talk about social media marketing and all those kind of things. So the idea is to just give a space for women, to have discussions about what's happening with AI, learn more, upskill more. And if you already have a lot of knowledge, because we want both sides of it, it's about sharing your knowledge, which is what Vaishnavi is doing for us. She's one of our community members, and she's in cybersecurity. So she's going to be talking about the marriage between cybersecurity and AI today. So Vaishnavi to me is still a mystery in her typical cybersecurity fashion. That's actually the first time I'm seeing her. So hi. Um, yeah, so it's really funny because she's very very guarded, and I get that because when you're in the cybersecurity world, you know so much. You know all the dirty secrets about the digital world, and I think because of that, you tend to be like a little more guarded about everything. So basically, she is a cybersecurity risk enthusiast. And she's currently she's a cybersecurity leader in a massive pharmaceutical company, which is amazing to see women holding these positions in these like old school corporates and stuff. So I absolutely love that. She'll give you a longer intro to herself, but just kind of give you a quick idea. And she has like she studied cyber law, she's done forensics. I mean, her profile is so interesting. So I'm really really excited to have her here, talking to us about cybersecurity and AI and sort of the overlap between the two. And so thank you so much, Vaishnavi, for coming out and talking to us. I know it's been something we were discussing for a long time, so I'm glad we finally made it. And I also want to say thank you to all the other members who have joined in on their Saturday to hear us out. And I won't take up more of your time. So Vaishnavi, over to you. I will pass that on.
Hi everyone. Yeah, I will not repeat everything that Neha mentioned about me, but yeah, of course, I work for a pharmaceutical company. I don't work in IT, but in OT. I'll come to that in a bit. What it is. Let me just share the. Uh, just a second. Okay. Okay, I'm way ahead of my slide. Let me take few steps back. I'm sorry. Yeah. Let me know if every one of you can see my screen.
Yes, we can.
Okay, just a second. Yeah, here we go. So yeah, about me, I work in operational technology, cybersecurity. I lead risk management at cybersecurity part of it. Mostly trying to like how we feel right now that people are very ignorant about the IT world. The IT world people are as ignorant as anyone could imagine about the operational technology world. Now you will ask what is that? It is anything that is interface, human interface. So power grids, I'll go from like largest to smallest. Power grids, the satellite systems, wherever you need a human intervention. And what else? Water plants, nuclear uh, stations, your railways, and your airports and air traffic, and of course your Alexa, all that. So what I actually do is trying to make people understand who are already in technology that, yeah, my session, the next session is going to be whole on data. I am assuming that, I'm dealing with somebody who are really know their way around technology, but not exactly what they should be aware of themselves and their identity, and how they just log into internet and exist. So I will start from that basics. My decks are boring. I want it to be more interactive. Ask me any questions that you have. I will pause after every uh, deck, and I might or might not share some case stories or any news around few of the topics. But if you want to know about any of that, just drop it in the message. I will pick it up post call and I will share it with you all. And yeah, let's get started. First, I will definitely start with digital identity. I know you, everybody knows, yeah, it's what it is, but exactly what all we are not aware of us, just doesn't pay much attention about. And the next one would be why cybersecurity is not for big companies. It's not your phishing stimulation emails or annual mandatory trainings, why it is not just limited to that, and mostly bringing a narrower perspective about this, and how you should be the center of all the context that exist around cybersecurity. It's not some company or it's not some corporation. At the basic, it's an individual. And AI and you, it's going to be more of a discussion. All of these points will be, but I have just put very limited content because we have already discussed so much in the group already. But yeah, let's keep the ANU part more interactive. Yeah, we do have an hour, almost like 45 minutes now. I think it should be enough. But if you think I'm kind of not making any sense or anything, please interrupt me, maybe raise your hand or anything. I'm okay with that. Yeah. uh, I will start with digital identity. If anybody can, I can't see messages, but if anybody can come off mute and tell me at least one more aspect of what would digital identity is, other than your email ID or your social media profile.
If anyone wants to volunteer, they can raise their hands as well, or they can type in the chat box, and I can moderate the chat box for Vaishnavi. Okay, I think people might be scared to answer. Oh, Kranti, yay! Kranti has raised her hand. Go for it, Kranti. You can unmute yourself.
Yeah, hi. Digital identity is something basically where we can authenticate ourselves and to get some information which contains our biometrics or name, address, or a specific ID, all such
Yes.
information.
Yeah, absolutely right. But one correction, not necessarily all the details you need to be authenticated. So, yeah, like Kranti mentioned, login credentials is one of them. Biometric data, this is not just limited to your thumb impression or facial recognition. It's also retina and also your blood reports that you might share with your service provider. So yeah, it's narrows down to one where, like, to be specified, but it is your biometric data. It's in in the wider concept. Then social media profile, of course, everybody is aware. IP addresses, I know most of the you are people are not very uh yeah, even if they know, they are not very keen on this particular one. How does it matter? Why I would use VPN, I would use a public Wi-Fi and just connect. It does matter. And device identifiers starting from your IMEI numbers, and all the device identity. When did you buy? Where did you buy? And then when did you start? When was the last update of your phone? All the softwares, and of course, if you have downloaded any new apps or deleted any apps, all of that, like and browsing history. So what I mean is, anything that has to do with behavior. Okay, like you log in, you view something, or you stay on a page for like more than 20 seconds than usual, that is captured. And the yeah, and another thing is, you if you remember, before 2018, all this before all this GDPR mandates came in, there used to be no prompts whatsoever at all about the cookies. I will not get into technical details of it. I'm happy to share it notes with you later for references. So after GDPR, what happened? If you go to any web page now, it asks you for accept cookies or all that. So it was there till 2019, where you were just asked, hey, you are we collect cookies, this is your okay button. After that, what happened was, now you will have to give the website that, yeah, I'm okay with necessary details about me, my activity, or yeah, accept all. Most of the people do accept all, to know that there's don't select anything at all and just a necessary one, or just disagree and close it, and you can just scroll with whatever details you need. Some website makes it mandatory. It's not their fault. It's the kind of details they would want to do. What kind of contents you will see is mostly on medical, like psychological issues. If you are looking on particular commercialized websites, they do collect, like, yeah, you have to agree to necessary cookies and everything, saying that, yeah, I need this information, you can track, collect my data, that this person from this IP address, or this time, or this geographical location. It depends on what level or how narrow they would want to collect your data, but at least at the geographical location they definitely will. Most often what happens is, the best features, also, like, the double-edged swords, when you check for any vendor or something, or any brand or something, it asks you to narrow it down to your current location. You necessarily need not to do that, but what we do, functionality is so great. If you do that, it will give you the next available vendor in 50 meters radius, rather than you typing so and so vendor at so and so area, opening timings, nothing. So features are like, it's a double-edged ended sword. So that is these are the one. So basically, what do you think is, like, whatever you're in real life, and if you have a smartphone in your hand or any device in your hand, it is also extension of you, and mostly like mirroring your identity in a digital world. And it is more than, at least in physical world, it is how you look and how you present, and maybe your other personal or professional details that we can. But in digital world, everything matters. How long you're on a social media, what websites you do. One example, like one funny example, if you all remember, a couple of years ago, there was this viral tweet from this man who shared the screenshot of IRCTC website, and the ads were of some, not NSW stuff. And he was so confident, and he tweeted it saying that ISRTC is nasty, they are posting all this. And they promptly replied that, sir, this is your browsing history, and those ads come with whatever you search for, and based on that it's published. So that was one of the incident. This happens all the time. And that is why, like, if you are one perfect thing. I know it will be too hard for us to do, especially if you're over 20 and are a professional and already have linked all your PAN card, Aadhaar, and your work emails, everything to one email. It is little hard, but at least from today, what I would suggest is just make a separate email ID for your shoppings. Like, keep that stuff there. And social media, I do not need it to even start, because all this, what happens is, see, doxing, privacy violation, these are the threats that I have put in here. Doxing is basically you know taking your data, leak data from online, and using it in a malicious way. Like 3 years ago, just before, not three, oh, it's been long though for pandemic. Yeah, just before the pandemic, there was a Domino's data breach that has happened. um, I was approached by somebody from my college, who had got lost in touch, or like, some books and stuff, and like, who gave the details, because I have moved places. Then I understood this person is my used to be my classmate, and this was our 20 marks question to take the breach data and use it for projects, like, in a good way. But it can this is very, you know not so harmful thing that has happened, because we know how it's easy to get leak data online. You don't need a dark web, you don't need Tor. It's pretty much easy. And that person just shared the screenshot of what exactly I ordered, when did I order, how long it took, my phone number, and the address, and everything of that day. Just Domino's pizza order. So this is one harmless thing that but how, if you take the other part of it, like how it can be misused. You don't need a hacker, or you don't need a, like, whole organized cyber uh, crime company or anything. The anything can happen. And anyone can literally, like, use that. And this is not just for women and children. I know kids are cute, and they're cuter if they're of your own. But irrespective of gender, please stop posting pictures. WhatsApp, it's fine to share within the I'm not saying it's like foolproof, but it's better than posting on Instagram or any other, like, especially Facebook, and anything that has to be um, done on social media. Yeah, about for WhatsApp photo, yes, that is encrypted. It's fine, but you never know how, like, right, these days it's easy to it's not complicated to, like, break into firewalls, or, like, get the decryption key. Nothing. You just have to manipulate a person, and getting into their account on WhatsApp. So it's easy as it is. You just need some social engineering skill, and some really a nasty confidence about manipulating people. There are hundreds and thousands of cases where people have lost access to their own WhatsApp accounts because of all this. Yeah, multiple emails you will get if you have, like, yeah. Another thing, let me just take one step back. So kids and women, stop sharing pictures if until and unless you are, like, okay with whatever happened, whatever happens, and whatever have happened previously with social media and your personal identity. So accepting friend requests from strangers, yeah, definitely. If you have a community, or if you have a brand, please have a separate email for that, separately everything managed for as an organization but not as an individual. Manage everything on that, have multi-factor authentication for those email, accounts on social media. Don't share kids pictures. This is quite trigger ring, so trigger warning. Number of child porn that you see, cases you won't get to see is very high. People don't mention it because it's of course reputational thing for a geographical region, for a nation, and of course the thing that we know in most Indian household, how shame is kind of associated with anything that has happened to a victim. It's not something that blames the predator, but it's always a hush hush. So it's okay if you're an adult and you decide to do it, but I urge you, do not post pictures of kids. Now you all know about how easily accessible these AI tools are, and I won't be surprised you have seen some nasty videos or reels or anything on internet that was really shocking to see, with celebrities looking like the child self is something that you would say, yeah, it's cute, but there are, if you just go on Reddit, you will see so many AI generated not safe for work content, and it's disgusting when it is a kid. And there we also have seen people making money out of putting their kids in front of the camera. Unfortunately, in India we do not have any such regulations set for parents, but in other countries there are. We have heard news about, like, limiting social media and actually maintaining records and sharing with the social worker or anybody who comes home in New Zealand and UK, all that parts. So they are, what they have is, yeah, you do whatever you want to do with your kid, but anything happens, you are accountable. That part is not here in India yet. So you will see all nasty things, kids getting beaten up. Yeah, we think that is nasty, but uh, uh, you know child porn is the biggest thing that is so hard to control. So it don't I'm not saying that, yeah, when I'm saying don't put pictures, you have I didn't mean that don't put your kid taking a bath. No, well suited baby, like a boss baby, you put it there. There are nasty people who alter the pictures and you share it for merely few bucks, and it's a whole organized thing. Okay, it's a whole organized uh crime, sometimes backed up by local authorities. One reason being in tier 3 cities or remote villages, they do not have any concept of what it is. For them, they have no idea, they just consume it. They have, and authorities, they also do not have any awareness around it. So that is the one thing. So complete no about children's picture on online. Please do not do that. Just make some Polaroid and save it in your boxes. And the next one is using weak or repetitive passwords. Yeah, most of us use password management tools, but be sure to have 2FA with or without password management, and do check what is the settings and the terms and condition of your password management software or an app that you are using. Unverified apps, I don't have to explain this. Yeah, sharing sensitive photos or videos, I know it's not a big deal these days to share intimate pictures or whatever it is. Make sure you're sharing it in a right platform. Check if it is WhatsApp, or it's, check the settings, but definitely not on Instagram, not on your dating site, dating apps. Please do not share anything, not your selfies. anything that has, like, give you right away what you look like at that moment or anything. Stop sharing locations on your, yeah, of course you're on Eiffel Tower, yeah, do it, add it Eiffel Tower. But if you're going for a brunch or anything every week, stop putting locations there, or post it once you're back from there. If you are in on a public account, then definitely not. Please don't do it until unless you have a social media team with you and legal team with you, all that you are, like, sorted, then go ahead and overshare, but do not do all that. Yeah, and public Wi-Fi without protection, I don't have to explain. Please stop using your, uh, you know, hotels. Like, most of the data leaks have happened in hotels. So hotels, then airports, or anywhere you see free Wi-Fi, or check if your phone is automatically connecting to your a public network. So please check that, have a VPN or anything in place, or just top up some money and use your own internet on your system. That's it. Please avoid logging into public Wi-Fi's. And doxing, privacy violation, I explained. Workplace cyber threats, this is one of the things that has been kind of a news in past few years. People have jobs that are not only their daily jobs, they are on social media. Some are on very adult sites like OnlyFans or anything, which they absolutely, it's their personal space and their personal will to do it. But what happens is people subscribe to you from your workplace, or you don't have to be OnlyFans, or just the Instagram, they follow you, then they will build a different perspective. Of course, we are not the same people that are outside of work. So those are the the kind of biases and the discrimination and lewd comments, all that starts. In US, there were like at least thousands of women that were, and people from LGBTQ community, they were kicked out of their organization because of their online presence. And another thing about a digital identity is, it's not just limited to your safety or anything. It's like literally like your ID card. You already know, maybe you or guys already have been part of where you profile candidates, you look at their social media and everything. And not, it is not just limited to that. Your health insurance companies check on what your shopping orders are, where are you going, and all your pictures. They won't tell you because, yeah, regulations doesn't demand them to. And if they just get with or unofficial way, they get all the things. They don't have to document. If you don't say it, it's not that, that's it. So everything, starting from your professional life and your financial help that you might get from the banks or insurance companies, and some for in few cases in hospitals as well. Not in India, but in other countries, there has been biases based on the digital identity or digital trail somebody has left behind. So there will be discrimination based on how you put yourself on internet. And online harassment and bullying, I don't have to mention what it is. Tracking and spyware threats, please do not entertain anyone online. One thing, you don't click on any link that comes in your SMS, even if you know it is. Just look at what is the header is, you will know the tracking ID. Just go to their website, preferably in laptop, because it's easier not to miss in phone to check the legitimate link. So just go on there, check that, and avoid clicking on any of the links. There is no free money, there is no free publicity, nothing comes for free. And yeah, and I don't have to let me know if I have to about this WhatsApp scams and everything that ask you to do the review and stuff, or just all that stuff. I think we have covered a lot about it in the group already. So basically, just think it's you, like physically being you in that space, if you are in our digital world, and see if you feel safe there, or you're just there to grab some candy and run away, because it's not the candy you are getting, you are giving away yourself. So that is uh, I think covers everything. Let me know if you have any questions.
There's a question from Mira.
Yeah, so yeah, definitely coffee shop Wi-Fi is not secure. They will track you, and when it is a coffee shop, they have a vendor. They do not have any policies or anything like any big organization or your company public Wi-Fi would have. They like just have your company public Wi-Fi when you're sitting in reception connects, and admin can access all of that. Same goes with coffee shops as well. Plus, coffee shop owners are not, they are not entitled to explain anything to you. It's a common sense that it's public Wi-Fi. They are just giving you the feature. They are not asking you to, like, you have to connect to a Wi-Fi, so they are not liable to anything that happens with your data. They are giving you service, and that's it. Yeah. Yeah, and cyber security, I will just cover little things. I don't want to go to the technical part of it. I strongly feel all that we have is, a big uh, big discussions or big talks that happens year on year, billions of worth of these conferences and everything. Your companies will sponsor you to go and attend, and it's all like, all the technical terms everybody will talk about, their company, how good their firewalls are, their quantum computing security, all that. It should have to make a sense at a individual level. And if we don't think it's our kind of a duty, and it's like a responsibility, I don't think it is possible. If one cannot protect themselves in digital world, you can't expect them to do it for their bosses or the companies, because it feels like, that the huge mismatch happening. So uh yeah, like I have put in here, it's more than technical safeguards, and it's about knowing the human behavior in information security. That is the widely what we all are, like, at individual level are under, or fall into. It's more of, like, data. It doesn't have to have a face right now. Like, you just go to Google and check for random article you have written or anything, and just post it there and click on images. 99.9% of time, if you have had left a digital footprint, like carelessly in public accounts, or not checking what is the settings of profile pictures that are in the, you will get your picture. You will get your picture from like 10 years ago. You will get the random PDF or Excel where you have uh, written a poem or a haiku in, like, high schools. It will be there in internet. So it has to be very, like, very personal when you think about cybersecurity. It's not the device. They are just giving you everything you need, but ask yourself, do you really need uh, that? And if you are okay with it, at what cost? So I think this has to be, like, talk every day in the household. It's not like you will do it in every October in cybersecurity awareness month for a certificate or something. Talk to your parents, talk to the kids, talk to teenagers, your house help, like how their behavior really affects everything. Behavior, as in, like I mentioned very early in this meeting, your browsing history, your speed of browsing, and if you have gone to an article and have you clicked on read more, each tiny bit of it is your behavior, and it is being tracked. And see, we cannot avoid what is going to happen. We can't stop the good things, and definitely not the bad things that come out of it. So be aware, read about this. One best, really one good practice I really want to all to kind of take a note on is, it takes hardly 2 minutes or 3 minutes. So now we have our AI GPTs like ChatGPT. You just uh, take or like just check what is the privacy and terms and condition of this particular website. Give me 5 points I need to understand as an individual. Simple prompt, it will give you. I ask again because AI is not accurate all the time. Just asking, are you sure, or like, can you elaborate on this particular things, when if he had populated any of the details that is little. But ask twice or thrice, or ask it, please direct me to the source. So that way you will be validating, but you will also be aware. Please do not click on random apps, don't download. And biggest of all, we get so many Google forms to fill. Ensure if you are sending it to someone, do not ask email or any identifiable details. If you really need a, I would suggest, do not ask anything at all apart from what you're exactly trying to achieve. And somebody who are filling it, and if you are asking, please make it not mandatory. It's a best practice. And somebody who are filling it, no, please don't add your email ID. You don't need to share it, especially if it is the same email ID you're using for your bank transaction or your professional conversations with your hiring manager, whatever, and all that. And the second one is, do not put your age. Nobody wants to know your age. And if there is an option to choose, do not do not want to specify about the gender. Please do not specify about it. You don't have to prove it to the anyone. They already have enough data about you. You don't have to kind of confirm that to another data breach. And yeah, it's constantly evolving, and it's going to be this way, and this is the only way we are going to survive. Please be informed, we share knowledge and read about it. It's not always all this drama that happened last week about all scary stuff and all that. It's a nice, beautiful world. It's whatever we are covering is not even a droplet of the whole ocean. I'm keeping it very basic. If I have bored you already, I'm sorry. And yes, and another thing I want to encourage is, most of this social media, all this digital arrest and everything. I will not take name. There was this social media influencer who was in digital arrest for like 40 hours or something, and it came out and it was all over the media. I will be I will be lying if I didn't laugh at it, because it's very obvious. And another thing is, when you're dealing with in social media, especially as a public account or as an influencer, you will be lured with random opportunities, to go to Dubai, or like, get into this, that, all that. What happens is, you're just becoming a part of bigger money laundering racket. So most of the time when celebrities, this is from like personal encounter with someone who were struggling, and also from a close friend of mine who I worked with in a case that has happened couple of years ago, where uh, we kind of understood the modus operandi of these people who try to exploit influences. So most of the time, what happens is, it's a big money laundering racket, and nobody gets a. It wasn't easy a couple of years ago, even with social media, to get 5 lakh per reel or 10 lakh per reel, even with like, few 100,000 followers. So you are just getting caught in that part. And that person who was on news media, my first thought was, this person might have, gone to some other routes, or might be he is not aware or she is not aware about what has happened, and that is the only reason somebody is, panicked. Otherwise, it's very easy to spot such scams. Yeah, but yeah, it's always fear and it always urgency that makes someone really panic in that situation. But yeah, please avoid random calls. If you're on Apple now, they have the um, voice note available in India as well. So let it go to voice note. I will share some crazy voice notes I have got I because I didn't pick up. Those are like they're funny, they are very scary if you just pick up and you just but click on random numbers they ask you to. It's just call forwarding and just giving them all the data that you are accepting. Or for sim also sim cloning, we have heard so many sim cloning cases these days. And yeah, please do not feel uh, yeah, if it happens to you, there is help. Yeah, of course it is not as proactive as it should be, but we have it, and it is really important for us to report it so that if we have collectively we can avoid further damage. And 99.9% of the time financial losses are retrieved, but depends how big of your financial losses, because we do not want to go into the logistics of how big and how well equipped the police or any other legal and protection departments are. So yeah, next one is I will just pause. We have like 45 minutes, and just before I move to next one, just well, these are the same things you will have to keep in mind while you are dealing with AI. Yeah.
So sorry, Vaishnavi, Kranti had a question
Yeah.
from your digital identity section asking what precautions apart from VPN can you take for public Wi-Fi's?
Yeah, I would suggest not use it at all, but it's not very, ideal thing to say. If you are doing it, don't use your financial apps, not your bank apps or anything. Utilize to recharge your internet data and then log off and then use it.
Yeah. Okay. I know I've had bad experiences with hotels and stuff.
Yeah.
They just, the moment I've logged in, I just start getting spam email and, they have
Yes.
my name and they're like, you're staying in this hotel. Like they just know everything immediately.
Yeah, and 2019 there was a Marriott attack, and cost they pay for these data breaches are in billions,
Yeah.
and they do not compensate to the victims.
Yeah.
Only if you just you will have to sue them, and
And in India, that's like
yeah,
pointless.
it's pointless. And even if you are in a foreign land, as much as strict regulations are in US for HIPAA, health and identity, and all these parameters, and GDPR, and rest of like
Yeah.
Australia, all this, they are like, if I'm an organization and if I have leaked your data, all I have to do is like within 24 hours I have to report to my regulator saying, hey, I have been hacked and this is the thing, these many datas we have lost, but we will assure you that nothing, no more damages happen for the company and for the
Clear.
for the NDAs or whatever the things they are need to be abide by with the regulator, they are fine. But
You're fine.
if you're an end user, it's hard. But there are cases where people have sued the companies and have made billions, but
Yeah.
it's not possible with Facebook or anything. Yeah. Hotels are really like most like a coffee shop example, like a cafe example I gave. Hotels, all these company, hotels are most of non tech providers, like if it is not a tech based like your hospitals or anything. Hospitals also most of the time they are not very well aware or of these things. But yeah, if they are not into tech and if they are not put any certificates in their website, one thing you need to look for is ISO 27,000. It's universal. Most of the Indian organization needs to follow that as well. That by bit covers privacy and data protection in that. And another, if you are looking at any financial apps like Paytm or anything that you have wallet, you have to check for PCI DSS. It's card security protocols and regulations that they need to address. And yeah, GDPR for anything that you are on any other non-Indian websites, or if they are associated with anybody in EU, then they will have to be complied by that. So check for these. I would suggest use the websites, use the actual websites than apps most of the times. So yeah, even for hotel booking and everything.
So, when you say check for these things that you listed, do you mean check in their privacy policy of the website?
Yes, privacy policies is and the terms and condition, and now they put the security aspects as well. Most
Okay.
of the time, what they do is if you just scroll down, there will be random logos
Yeah.
added. In that, you can just check if any of these are there.
Okay.
So yeah, this
Okay.
PCI DSS is absolutely necessary if you are downloading any app like wallets, money wallets, digital currency or actual currency, no matter what, if it has money in it, check
Yeah.
for that. Yeah.
Okay. So, because we have about 10 minutes left, if
Yeah.
there anyone has any questions so far, otherwise we go on to the AI and you part. But just raise your hand or unmute yourselves. Okay. Anybody? Yeah.
I had one.
Go ahead.
Hey, yeah. So can AI actually help us in this checking process that you just mentioned, right? So is there some way we can use? So something that strikes me is just feed in the privacy policy to ChatGPT and probably get a gist of it, so that you like
Yes.
understand it better.
Yeah, I just mentioned this in early of this meeting. So yeah, if you're not able to read all that, just copy paste or check. Just click on the website, put it in GPT, ask it on the specific questions or concern you want to address. Check in that particular website about the policies and terms and condition, and check again, and then definitely verify. You have to ask twice to GPT or any of these LLMs or anything that you use, or search engine yeah, as well, to verify that it is legit. If or else just sit and read on your own. That is
Maybe
yeah.
maybe we can share some prompt examples for privacy
Yes.
policy after this in the community.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Sharma also has a question to. She's asking, how do you identify which social platform is safe or unsafe?
Yes, it goes without saying. You will have to go to their, score. What is their vision? Where are they, geographically located? Where they are regulatorily, responsible. All that, and based on that, you can make your own decision and check for the details. And another thing is just look at the privacy settings or that, and please create a dummy account on Gmail that it will get deleted if you don't have any backup created. So don't worry about it, create that, then check. And I, like I mentioned very early in the call, have separate accounts for your bank and stuff, and then for social media and shopping keep a different one. There is no legit or anything. Even the Instagram or LinkedIn, it's easily, like, they are highly, like, security wise by design, they are very secure, but they are just a platform. They are not there to provide you security or anything. So that you need to keep in mind. It's like I clearly mentioned in the previous one, it's at the individual level that comes. It's not the device, it's not your website, it's not what you want. But uh yeah, so it's a on you. It's yeah, I think there is some other question.
Yeah, it's Sharma saying back that you mentioned that posting photos are not safe. So
Yeah,
then, how do you know what is safe?
there's nothing if you have a device that connects to an internet, And if you have an Aadhaar card, because the data has already been breached, so you are not safe. We are trying to achieve is we are already exposed, if you ask me. And photos are something which are more than your date of birth or more than your place of origin. It's the same thing. That's the only thing that is kind of a gate wall between the real world and the digital world. And if you're giving that away also, it's really difficult to kind of get help. And when you get help, it's too late, and what's there on internet is forever. So what I suggest is, if you are an adult and if you have a consenting aged kid like 18 or plus, you go ahead and do it, but you have to own it. Whatever happens, you have to own it, because no amount of strict regulations or anything will stop any of the bad guys. And it's not always the bad guys, it's just random person. Most of the cases when you have seen, like, made biggest news are the teenagers who are just sitting in their room, just meddling with random stuff
Yeah.
on internet. So it's not always the bad guys. It's already, like, we are already exposed. Now all we have to ensure is we are protected. And another thing is, if you are posting with people other than you, make sure it is with their consent as well. And if you are if you have a true caller, please delete it. And if you have any of those kind of details
True
where
callers are worse. Truecaller gives me more spam. Like my mom used to use it, and I just told her to delete it because she was getting more spam from Truecaller than actually getting people's
yeah,
info.
yeah. So if I have a true caller and I now, like, yeah, I have all of your numbers and I have saved it in mine, I've already have leaked your data. And if you can't even predict where you are getting all these spams from. It might be somebody who you have just gotten in touch with, or somebody who just sent you a request. They don't have to reach out to you in SMS or anything. They will have it, because all this if you look, one of the challenges we have, right, all this big corporation or big applications that we are kind of using, we tend to just ignore the fact that they also have supply chains, they also have third parties. Not just third parties, there are like nth parties. So you never know how far your data is going.
Yeah.
And they are not responsible whatsoever at all. They have it in terms of, hey, we are using this. Check the Facebook one. They keep your retain your data for like 10 plus years,
Wow.
even if you have deleted. And they are not, and they third parties or nth parties, they will say, hey, we will never delete. We sit in some corner part of the world, we don't have any regulations, we don't have to abide by that. My NDA with FB is cleared, you don't have to, nobody can sue me as well. So it's on us, it's at individual level. It's not with who is safe, what is safe on internet. You need to be safe, you have to be vigilant. Yeah.
Okay.
I,
Let's start with AI and use so that we can make use of the last few minutes.
Yeah. So yeah, I just have kept very simple, and it's the same thing that I have covered all these minutes. Only thing is just on AI thing. And please know that while you are actually putting any prompts or asking any questions to the LLM or any of the GPTs, any AI, it's actually you're training them. You think that they are giving you any data, they also have gotten data from people who have asked the same thing, and it will just give you that, and it learns on it. And so it's not some magical wand that, yeah, I will, for relying on security, I will use this and that. No, you have to double check. And please do not rely on anything on any. It's just like, if you want to rephrase a description of something, or make a change your body of the email to more better context or something, use it. But never, I have friends who literally put their names and ask the GPT to talk to them and all that. Nobody cares who you are. Nobody wants to know what gender you are. Only you need to care. and if they already you are giving that away, they will use it against you, or if not against you, mostly the same demographic or geographic people. So it's a double edged sword. Don't think it is all oh yeah, this is something magical. It is not. More features you get, more vulnerable you are as an individual. And yeah, and definitely be aware on AI threats and everything. Don't get into the drama that happened last week, and keep it will keep happening as long as all this new and better AI companies will come up with. Don't get into the political stuff, because it's a never ending thing.
What is your reference for last week? Sorry. Or just
Yeah, deep seek
Deep Sea.
drama, yeah.
So, just for some context, guys, China just released their version of an LLM, like a Chat GPT, which apparently has uh, beaten Chat GPT, Claude, and all of the other existing ones. But there are a lot of issues with the privacy policy because of the country's regulations, etc. I'm Vaishnavi will know more than me, but I'm just giving you a context.
Yes, yes, she covered all the points, yeah. And I think that's it. I know I'm not sure. Please let me know if it was too basic. I wanted to be basic because we are meeting for the first time, and I will get some. I'm happy to take more sessions, maybe on more of the technical part of it. But yeah, please. I know we are already past 12, but yeah,
No, that's okay. We have it's not very much past 12.
yeah.
But yeah, guys, if y'all have any questions or feedbacks, let's use Vaishnavi's time. She's very, very busy woman. So please let's use her time well and ask more. Kranti has said that she would love more technical details in later sessions. So Kranti, can you say a little more about what technical details would you like to touch upon?
Okay, first thing is I also work on AI, and then there are lots of things where we know that when we are using these code generation tools, there would be lots of misuses may happen, and then people should be aware of how uh, properly they should use these tools. That's one thing. And another thing is about the ethical practices. Of course, that's a very big thing that still doesn't come, probably do not come under this thing. But even in the payment side, like what kind of we already know that lots of financial fraud is happening, and then how should we be aware of these kind of things that may be happening due to the AI. And then as from a technical side, basically technical perspective, how should we actually be aware of those things, because we are also, majority of us are technical people who are working on technical stuff. So those kind of things.
Sure. I think I will make a note and share it with you. It's not something, it is something we can discuss in a call, but this is more of an end user perspective, Kranti, you're asking, or as a somebody who would want to build a product or around AI or something.
Yeah, it's
Maybe we
about
can
from
set
the
up
building perspective, not just from the
Okay.
end user perspective.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
So maybe we can set up a more informal call like we've done in the
Yes.
past in the community where people can just join in and be part of the conversation. Mira has also made a suggestion about how AI engineers can get onto the technical side of AI security.
Is it a suggestion or a question?
Suggestion for a future session.
Okay, yeah, definitely. And just give you like quick answer to that, just start thinking security by design, not from not when you need to, when you have to sign a contract with your investor or anything. By design, by conception, you have to think security. So you have to ensure, like I mentioned, digital identity. There are other concepts that are ABCs of cybersecurity and privacy, and I have covered cybersecurity, keeping privacy in a picture. But if you guys need a thorough session on privacy and data protection, then we can do that as well. Or let me know, I can drop quick notes in the group as well. And yeah, the suggestion that Mira mentioned, yeah, quick answer, thinking by from the day of conception, and applying security by design from the day one. And you improvise and do not get into the thing that yeah, we have to, yeah, for example, the deep seek thing, we saw that how great it is, how cheap, how fast and everything it is, even with keeping all the political and geopolitical and the geographical regulatory stuff aside, security wise they are not great. And if you ask me the other side of it, they don't need to be great with the security aspect of it as well. They are a computing and more of mathematical analytical tool, and more, they need open source, and if they aren't giving it for free, they won't get it for free, simple as that. So that is one thing. So if you are somebody, and it also depends, it's not like you have to consider all this from the day one. What kind of application you are building, what kind of platform you are building, based on that you have to ensure usability and user experience as well. And if not, then definitely get a really good investor who can back you up with legal charges when it goes you know
South.
yeah.
One question I had was, like now when you sign on, we use single sign on so much,
Yeah,
right? So that we don't have to remember a new password or deal
yeah,
with any of that. So when you sign up, they give you, Gmail tells you what aspects of your account they have access to. Is
yes,
that legit? Like, for example, if it says it's only a profile picture, language, and email, I'm okay sharing that.
yeah.
So is that legit, or are they actually taking more than that? Like what they say, is that correct?
Yeah, that also depends on multiple aspects, but I will just give an example. Like, let's say I create an absolutely amazing application today. Okay, and you are my investor, you are my boss, you're impressed, and hey, we need to get into market right away. and and let's say somebody else, like Mira is somebody who is assisting us in App Store or Google
Yeah,
Store, saying that yeah, this is how she's a developer from the Play Store or site. What she'll do is, yeah, these are the checklist, and I now have to publish it and I clear it. And she might validate, she might not validate, because she's just one of, she has
yeah,
like, out of 100 you are one of the
yeah.
things she needs to
Deal with.
validate. Yeah,
Yeah,
she will like, okay, yeah, done, this is you have said yes, I will validate, and they will validate it. Mira is supposed to validate when time comes, when she needs to answer to audits and everything.
yeah.
And that is when you will see all this news like, oh, this app by Vaishnavi owned by Neha, this happened, that happened.
Oh God. Okay.
And yeah, so it's not always, yeah, more for Google, Apple, they are they need to, but let's be honest, who are we kidding? They are like, they have more budget for fines and like regulatory
Yeah.
fees than the salary for their own employees. So yeah.
Yeah, yeah. No, because when I signed on to Chat GPT or DeepSeek, I just use single sign on, right?
Yeah,
So at that time, it does come to my mind: can they access my email as well?
yeah.
By me signing on by using single sign on. But I guess there's no clear answer for something like this.
Yeah, I mean, they might not access it to you, but they can create a backdoor for somebody malicious to do it. Like that
Okay.
happened with DeepSeek, where they stopped the login and new
Yeah.
registration. That's
Yeah.
what happened. Like everybody started getting on an app, and there was a vulnerability, and somebody took a chance. That's it.
Got it. Got it.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay, are there any more questions, guys? Because I know we're a little over, but we want to make use. Mira has said, in my experience, App Store approval process are a little thorougher than the Play
Yes.
Store. Yeah, that's what
Yes. Yeah.
Vaishnavi was saying as well. Okay, well, I do want to say once again, thank you so much, Vaishnavi. Vaishnavi is part of our community. She's one of our most active members. We call her our in-house cybersecurity expert. So whenever people have issues, like and we message her, and she also is constantly updating us about what's happening in with hacks and things like that. So it's really nice to have you in the community there, kind of watching out for us. And thank you everyone else who's also attended on their Saturday, on their weekends. Please do send me feedback. I'm in the group, or you can DM me as well if you want. If there's any future events, like Vaishnavi said, she's happy to do a deep dive into something. I know some of you have already suggested that, so Vaishnavi and I can coordinate, or we'll do an informal chat with you all. So thank you guys, and hopefully see you soon at the next one.
Thank you, everyone. Bye.
Bye.
Thanks.
Thank
Bye
you.
bye.
Bye bye.